Yo, what's up guys, Yusuf here from Techdroids and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. And in today's video we'll be quickly comparing the newly launched OnePlus 6 against the iPhone 10. Now the iPhone 10 can be bought for $1,000 and if you opt for the 256GB model you have to pay around $1,200. And the OnePlus 6 can be had for under $600. So is the iPhone 10 twice as good as the OnePlus 6? Let's find out in this video. Also, this might be my last comparison on the OnePlus 6 because I've already done 2.0 and I think this is getting boring, but just for the people who are actually interested in both of these devices, it might help in their purchase decision. Also, my unboxing of the OnePlus 6 is coming out tomorrow, that is the 21st of May. So yeah, subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to watch that. Also drop a like on this video, and with that being said, let's get started. Now, starting off with something that I cannot judge the phones on, and that is design. That totally comes down to you. And as I said, this is a quick comparison. I'm gonna keep it quick. Design is totally up to you. So whichever phone looks better to you, and if you always judge phones by their design and the looks, and if they matter to you, and if you don't mind paying more, the iPhone 10 is going to look better with the stainless steel, rim and the full glass construction. It is the more premium looking phone with the Apple logo and stuff. Also, OnePlus has changed their design this year and they are using glass as well. Bunch of colors are available and in my opinion, this also looks good. But iPhone 10, let's just admit it, it's the better looking phone here. Now talking about the specs, on the OnePlus 6, you'll get the best of Android in 2018. That is the Snapdragon 845, 608GB of RAM, the Adreno 630 GPU, 64, 128 or 256GB of storage with the 3300 mAh battery that supports dash charge, which is the fastest thing in terms of charging. Now moving on to the iPhone 10, you get the best of Apple here. You get the A11 Bionic chip, Apple made GPU, 3GB of RAM and a 2716 mAh battery. Now when you compare the numbers side by side, there's a night and day difference, but numbers in 2018 when it comes to smartphones is not the only thing, because the iPhone 10 with only 3GB of RAM and the A11 Bionic chip, which is no slouch, can fly through anything you throw at it on iOS 11. That is the software it's running, and that's something you cannot judge. iOS versus Android, this is not a video comparing these two. On the OnePlus 6 you have Android 8.1 Oreo with Oxygen OS, which is near stock with a few useful features here and there. Now they both do the same thing but with different specifications. The OnePlus 6 can fly through Android 8.1 Oreo and future Android versions with 8GB of RAM and an octa-core CPU. So numbers is not the only thing, as I said. Now talking about the battery life and battery capacity and charging type. You have USB Type-C here on the OnePlus 6, and on the iPhone 10 you have no headphone jack, but you have a lightning connector here. It has a 2716 mAh battery which is small, and the display on the iPhone 10 is high-res. It's an AMOLED display or OLED display, and the iPhone 10 does have a lot of trouble getting through a day of heavy use. Whereas on the OnePlus 6 you have dash charge, which is the fastest thing available in terms of charging, and the adapter itself is included in the box. Not like Apple, you have to buy from third party or Apple themselves. And the 3300 mAh battery is gonna work really well because you only have a full HD plus display, the power efficiency from the 845, and even if you run out of battery, just use the dash charger and you're up and running in maybe half an hour or so. So battery life, I'd give it to the OnePlus 6. Now as we mentioned, the displays, so let's talk about them. On the iPhone 10 you have a 5.8-inch OLED display with the notch, and it has a resolution of 1125 into 2436. It is a really good display. It's a panel from Samsung, so it's going to get bright, really good color reproduction, the wide P3 color gamut. It's all good here. Whereas on the OnePlus 6 you have a 6.28-inch Full HD Plus display, so less sharper. The PPI on the iPhone 10 is more, whereas on the OnePlus 6 you have only 403 PPI. So there's a lot of pixels, but there's a bigger display as well, so you get less sharpness. Whereas on the OnePlus 6 you also have the notch. It is a panel from Samsung. It's not bad, but in terms of displays, I'd give it to the iPhone 10. Now talking about cameras, again, I'd give it to the iPhone 10. 12 plus 12 megapixel setup, f1.8 on the primary camera, and f2.4 on the telephoto, which will give you 2x zoom. You have 4K 60 FPS. You also have 1080p at 240 FPS. So cameras is going to be really good. Whereas on the OnePlus 6, you have a 16 plus 20 megapixel setup with f1.7 on both. OIS is there on both these phones. 4K at 60 FPS is also here, and you can also do super slow-mo 960 FPS at 720p on the OnePlus 6. But pictures, when you compare them side by side, I'd say the iPhone 10 will take the win any day, and I will link some camera comparisons in the description down below. The next category we're going to talk about is the extras, and things like headphone jack is here. Water resistance, both these phones have it, but on the iPhone 10 you have IP68, whereas on the OnePlus 6 there's no particular IP rating, but OnePlus says it is going to be resistant to water and normal splashes and rain. At OnePlus, we will take that as well because we didn't have anything in the past, so at least we have some water resistance here, but iPhone 10 will take that as well. Bluetooth 5 is there, all the general sensors is here. Headphone jack is here, did I mention it, on the OnePlus 6, whereas you don't have it here. You also have USB-C and dash charge, that goes in the favor of the OnePlus 6. And you have lightning over here with fast charging. You have wireless charging on the iPhone 10, whereas it is not existent on the OnePlus 6, and I don't know why. But other than that, that's kind of it for the comparison of the phones itself. Now let's talk about pricing. The iPhone 10 can be had for $1,000 and $1,200 depending upon which variant you get. And also the OnePlus 6 can be had under $600 for the base variant, and then the price increases as you go for higher storage models. And the max you'd pay is about $700. But that's still significantly lesser than the iPhone 10, and the OnePlus 6 is twice as cheap as the iPhone 10. So is the iPhone 10 twice as good? Hell no, it is not. If you're on a budget and if you want to save a lot of money and maybe invest it on something else, you should go with the OnePlus 6 if you can use Android. But if you have the money and iOS is what you need, the iPhone 10 might be worth it for you. Thank you so much for watching this one. If this was helpful, go ahead and subscribe. Also like this video. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.